ready for some more good tips, too, because we have author Steve Siebold with us. A secret self-made millionaires teach their kids. 1,200 interviews?
Almost 1,300 now.
Almost 1,300.
Since 1984.
I'm guessing you probably detected some trends.
Absolutely. Yeah, 34 years.
Most of them, are all of them self-made?
All of them self-made.
Okay, probably some true rag to riches stories. But what made you think that the good book fodder would be the notion of what they're telling their kids? Because the kids are sort of born into some affluency, so you were interested in the parenting angle?
Well, in 1984, I was a broke college student who wanted to be rich, so I started interviewing rich people.
I was not too far
That's a good way to do it, you know, start asking the people with the money. And so one of the questions I asked them was, what do you teach your kids that the middle class does not? Mm-hmm. And there were about 160 answers that I put together over 34 years, and I put them in the book, and that's what the book's about.
Well, I like the way the book reads, because the chapters are short, the points are there, each and every chapter. There's also not just questions, there seems to be some harsh truths.
Very much so.
Non-millionaires need to come to terms with, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Like embracing objective reality about the way money really works. I mean, there's the way that we wish the world worked and the way the world really works around money. You know, love doesn't make the world go round, unfortunately. I wish it did. Money makes the world go round.
But
that's too bad.
Money is meaningless.
Well, it's meaningless in terms of it doesn't make you any better than anyone else, but it sure solves 90% of life's problems.
Okay, but that other 10% is what could or could not be happiness, right?
Absolutely. Money and happiness are not correlated really in any way. After you get to about $70,000 a year, all the studies show, it's not going to make you any more happy to be richer, but it will solve a lot more problems.
Sure. And in terms of money, not scarcity, well, scarcity, that would be the opposite of being a millionaire. Being frightened of money is actually a concept for non-millionaires.
Yeah, we're taught really to be afraid of money. Like it's a bad thing. Like rich people are bad and money is bad and there's all this scarcity and you're not going to go to heaven if you're rich and all this nonsense is out there. Why would we ever aspire to attain something that has been so maligned by our influencers as children? And we don't. And most people in the richest country in the world are broke.
Do parents that are self-made millionaires, do you think they have they're frightened that their children aren't going to have that same drive they did or have that same path to self-discovery to get rich?
Well, I think a lot of people that write me, and like I was too, I mean, I just had no clue. I mean, I grew up in an average family in terms of wealth and struggled like everybody else, and you just don't have any access to it unless you have access to it. And that's why a lot of people say, well, I don't have access to interview, 34 years of interviews. That's why I put it in a book, really, to make it easy for people. Yeah.
So, but as far as millionaires and moving to the next generation, I'm guessing all parents have, you don't have to be wealthy to have a fear that your children are going to feel entitled. We talk about millennials and how easy they have it, or each generation has it easier. Is that something that's more top of mind in someone that's a millionaire? Because little Billy Jr. didn't have to work like Billy Sr. had to.
You know, I don't know. I don't know about your parents. My parents said the same thing about our generation.
Sure.
I think their parents said the same thing.
Right, going back to caveman.
I know, exactly right. I don't know. I think we're giving the millennials a hard time. I don't think they deserve
I do that.
I really
just
don't.
do mostly for fun.
But it's very societal oriented. You know, I mean, I think that we've done that for generations, and I think the millennials deserve more credit. They're the most educated, generation in history. Yeah. No question. They're smart.
So what would, I'm assuming most people watching right now are not millionaires. What is the parenting takeaway from a book like this? Like, well, this is a subset that what could they possibly know about raising children in my world? But there are takeaways for any parent, right?
Absolutely. Probably the biggest one would be to read it with your kids. It was written to read with kids, maybe teenagers starting 12, 13 years old, and teach them to have a healthy relationship with wealth, with building wealth, and that it's not a negative thing, and their life is going to be infinitely easier.
Where is it available?
If they go to thesecretsbook.com, they can get a free 81-page workbook to go with it.
Nice.
And then it takes them to Amazon, but that's how they get the free workbook.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, again, it's not a casual read. It's more of a reference, right?
Right. Exactly.
We'll make sure we put the link on indystyle.tv. Appreciate your expertise.
Thanks, Tracy. Appreciate it.
Thanks. There we go. Amber.
Funny. Speaking about the millennials, I had actually heard about a study that said millennials are actually the most aware of saving money and not needing to go out and spend this and that and be so frivolous. Like, they've got their mindset on what they need to do.
They're not worried about what other people are driving.
They don't care about that.
Right.
Like, their mindset's a whole different way. So trying to steer that course a little bit,
How about boomers?
What about boomers?
What about boomers?
We're done.
We're done.
We're over. I'm with you.
That's it.
Yeah, they're taking over, man.
Your time is over, Randy.
My time is done. I'm on it. I hear you. I'm with you.
It was over a long time ago, I think.
Oh, my goodness. Move over, boomers. Millennials are
Winter's
taking
over,
the
too.
lead.
We begin spring in about, an hour
That's
and
what
a
we
half.
were talking about. So it's not spring
Nope.
yet.
The vernal equinox here in about an hour.